Hi again. We're still on page 38 of the Banjo GED number 1. And here's a slightly fancier minor blues progression. And in this one, I gave the progression and blank chord grids so that you could figure them out yourself, choose your own favorites, and write them in or not as you choose. I'd like to take this opportunity to explain something about what I'm trying to do in this book. And you can use it as a lookup book. There's lots and lots of example chords that you can just look up and use. But my goal here, my real goal here, is to help you understand the basic chord shapes and just enough music theory about how the different chords are formed so that anytime you run into a chord, you can start with the shape and then figure out the chord you need. So for this example, I'm going to just kind of do a rambling commentary on how I would approach this, and it might help you. If it does, good. If it's boring, sorry. Okay, I would probably start figuring something out by comparing it to something I already knew. And we already did the basic minor blues progression. So this one just has a few extra chords. So I would look at the difference. And this one thing that's different is the first two measures, instead of, whereas the first two measures were all C minor 7 before, this one has a C minor 7, kind of has a turnaround. C minor 7, E flat major 7, D flat minor 7, or sorry, D minor 7 flat 5, and G7. So instead of just a C minor 7 for two measures, it's got 4 chords. Now, we already know the C minor 7. The E flat major 7th. Number of ways we can do that right from here. D, E flat, so your finger's right in the right place to begin with. So either here or here. So, you know, there's your 7th, there or there, but the major 7th is up 1. And which would you choose? Depends on the sound you want. Okay, you could also sacrifice the root, since this isn't that important of a root chord here. Do the major 7th there. So you can go, for those first two chords, you can go Now, the D7 flat 5, D minor 7 flat 5, nice chord, nice way to do this. I would start with the D7th, and then to make it a minor 7th, you flat the 3rd, and to flat the 5th, you flat the 5th. So, the 3rd and 5th are right here on the top 2 strings. So, that's a nice chord there. So, and then C7. I mean G7 comes next. So we're all staying in one particular area. Now, the E flat major 7th we have a lot of choices, but I think the one I'll choose is this one, because if I'm going, that gives me a bass line. So for the C minor 7th, you could also whatever, that's easiest. Now, one other point about this one, the D minor 755, that's quite a stretch. Down here it's a real pain. Up here it's doable, but it's still quite a stretch. You don't have to, you could just play, you don't have to play all of the notes, or you can, so So you're breaking the chord up. You don't, just as a way you can play all the notes, but they don't have to be at the same time. And if you're picking, it's easier to break the chord up. Okay, next we're back to the C minor 7th, G minor 7 flat 5 C7. We can figure out another one, but the one we did in the last progression, I just love the sound of that one. And same F minor 7, a different F minor 7, just because. Why play the same chord for two measures? Now here's the next part. Here's a C minor 7th to F7 to B flat minor 7th to E flat 7th. So you're actually, once again, you got the bass line going. And right now, next is the A flat 7, and you're right there. And the last 4 measures are the same as the first 2. Okay, I'll try and play it all the way through, nice and smooth. Something like that. You can do it better.